In 2022, there was a discernible drop of 6% in the number of homicides recorded in the United States. This reduction, as reported by the FBI, signifies a promising trend in the battle against violent crime. Preliminary data for 2023 hints at a continuation of this decline. This reduction in murders is a heartening development, especially in light of the surge in killings experienced across the nation in 2020. However, it is essential to note that the current murder rate remains higher than the pre-pandemic years, specifically 2019, with 25% more homicides in 2022 compared to that year. The annual crime report released by the FBI further underscores the grave issue of gun violence, particularly among the younger population. Sadly, gun violence has now become the leading cause of death for children in the United States. Overall, the report highlights a slight decrease in violent crime for 2022 compared to the previous year. Nonetheless, firearms were involved in nearly 500,000 violent incidents throughout the country, a figure similar to that of 2021. A significant shift can be observed in the demographic of victims, as gun violence claimed an even higher toll in 2022. The number of children killed in shootings increased by nearly 12%, with an almost 11% rise in those injured. In contrast to violent crime, property crime saw an uptick of 7.1%. This increase can be primarily attributed to the persistent rise in auto theft, which reached nearly 1 million cases in 2022. The statistics paint a complex picture for politicians who have sought to make crime a central election issue, especially those who have portrayed the nation, particularly its major, democratic-leaning cities, as engulfed in danger and disorder. Carjackings have surged in some areas, along with retail theft, which has had a detrimental impact on local businesses. However, the data largely contradicts the narrative that the country is in the midst of an ongoing wave of violence. Efforts to curb police abuses and reduce the incarceration rate have not led to persistently high crime levels, as some have suggested. Ames Groert, a senior counsel at the Brennan Center for Justice in New York, notes that explanation starts to look a lot shakier when you start seeing declines in major offenses. Nonetheless, public perception often lags behind reality in terms of public safety. Surveys have consistently shown that Americans believe crime is on the rise, even when the statistics prove otherwise. In the previous year, this perception gap appeared to widen. A Gallup survey indicated that 56% of respondents believed that crime in their area had increased, a record high, following a sharp increase in this sentiment in 2021. Public opinion on crime is also strongly influenced by political affiliation. The same Gallup poll showed that 73% of Republicans believed local crime had risen, compared to 51% of independents and 42% of Democrats. Insha Rahman, Vice President for Advocacy and Partnership at the Vera Institute of Justice, which aims to enhance public safety and reduce mass incarceration, believes that the crime trends reflect the positive impact of substantial investments in anti-violence programs over the past 2 years. Rather than focusing on stricter penalties for shoplifting and carjacking, she suggests implementing similar programs to combat property crime. She asserts, "We have an opportunity to avoid repeating the mistakes of the past, particularly when it comes to adopting a tough-on-crime approach." There are subtleties in the property crime statistics as well. Car thefts were driven by specific vulnerabilities in the anti-theft systems of Kias and Hyundais, a fact that became widely known through social media videos showcasing the ease with which these vehicles could be stolen. The estimated 7.8% increase in larceny, which encompasses shoplifting and other theft, might simply be a rebound following a dip during the pandemic. As Mr. Groert suggested, people should not underestimate offenses like shoplifting, as they do indeed impact communities. However, the increase in 2022 appears to be a reversal of the trend observed in 2021. The report estimates that there were 25,400 carjackings in the previous year, representing an 8% increase over 2021. These incidents were more likely to occur between 8 p.m. and midnight than at any other time. It's worth noting that the FBI is transitioning to a new data collection system that provides additional details, including the timing and location of such offenses. FBI crime statistics are typically delayed by more than a year, primarily due to the reliance on voluntary data reporting from over 18,000 law enforcement agencies. Nonetheless, the FBI deserves credit for improving this year's report, which was far more comprehensive than the previous one. In 2022, data was collected from 93.5% of the U.S. population, with an increased number of agencies adopting the new data reporting system. In conclusion, the recent statistics offer a nuanced view of crime trends in the United States, indicating both positive and concerning developments in different aspects of criminal activity. Public perception, often influenced by political affiliations, remains out of sync with the actual data, highlighting the need for a balanced and data-driven approach to addressing these issues.